Hey guys, I don't know if I've ever shown you the hobby room or like pointed around outside of the shot that you normally see to show you what I have in here. It's a pretty small room, nothing crazy, but I thought it'd be kind of fun so I could show you guys what we have in the room. And I have one fun little surprise, so stick around towards the end of the video because it's going to be pretty cool. Probably the coolest part of the room in my opinion is the fish tank, and let me give you a quick rundown on it for those of you out there who are fellow fish enthusiasts. As you can see, it's a nice little freshwater planted tank. I believe it's a 15-gallon tank. Had it now for a few years and gone through a few different batches of fish. First fish on the list of what we have in here is our little Galaxy Koi male betta fish. A nice little school of some clouds, some ember tetras. There's about a dozen of each of them in there. We have some different types of Java fern. I believe that's just like a typical Java fern, and then that's a typical Java fern. Let me see what's on the other side. That guy right there is a narrow leaf Java fern. And we just have a base of like some rocks. Some black crushed rock is my substrate. And then we have just a piece of wood in the center. It's been there forever. One piece of Java fern kind of attached to it there. And then in the back, as you can see, I am dosing it with a little bit of CO2. I do treat it with a little bit of some fertilizer and the CO2 combined to keep my plants nice and happy. And pretty much anytime I come up to the tank, I have 3 little emerald cory cats in there. They always scatter and go hiding. And then believe it or not, there is a blue ram in there that gets along totally fine with the male betta, but he just likes to hide in his little cave under the tree pretty much all day. But I've seen them swim past each other dozens of times and they don't care about each other's existence whatsoever. All right, next on the list is going to be how I hang my cars. This was actually something that a subscriber gave to me because it was something that he was making for a period of time. Forgive me, I don't remember his name or the name of his business because he no longer does it. But it was a really cool system and I'll show you what he did. But this is a little 3D printed piece that goes onto this metal rod hanging piece. I don't really know what you would call it. Shelf material, rack material. I don't really know. And then he 3D printed these little hooks and they just go in there with a little screw and nut. And then you can slide those to whatever width you need. And then that's how I hang up my cars. Right now, that's my 2-wheel drive buggy, obviously 4-wheel, no wheels or a wing on. And then that is the car that my brother raced in that race that he did a little while back down at Mills Pond. And I've turned it into a carpet car, so that way I don't have to change my setup on this one if I ever have to go do carpet stuff. Because we are gonna do the carpet champs later this year. So that will be the car and it's ready to go, kind of. It's got some stuff I gotta dial into it, but most of the way there. This little toolbox, I know a lot of you guys have asked what it is, where did it come from, and this is actually something that's probably just as old as me because my dad had it and he got it back in like the late 80s and it just has all my tools that I keep here. So just tons of oddball wrenches and hex drivers and small little wrenches and just a bunch of stuff. It's kind of messy, but that's what I keep in there. Some motor parts, pinions, some old Monster Max motors. I don't really use it too much. Honestly, I just love it for the sake that it was my dad's and I just like to keep it around because it is kind of helpful. I do keep some things like some shock oils up here. I believe there's a bunch of 8-scale parts in here, some scissors, greases, and then just some other stuff. Let's see, I got tire bands, some wire, let's see, a battery. I'll brighten this up a little bit, maybe you guys can see it better. Some bigger wrenches, or some bigger pliers that don't fit in the drawer down there. I believe those are some batteries for my Legends car. Motor analyzer, just keep that there, because normally I do this stuff on the workbench. Love this box. I believe it's called a Plano Pro Phantom series. Somebody in the comments might correct me down below, but yeah, that's that guy there. Definitely don't make them anymore, but maybe you can find one on eBay if you're looking to grab something that is the same. There's that little Plano, old school Plano system. Pretty cool. But definitely not for sale. Not gonna sell that. Gonna hold on to that forever and ever. And then normally I kind of changed where I keep my lenses, but these are just the different lenses that I use for my videos. Probably my favorite one out of this group, to toss up between my 50mm f1.2 lens or this 100mm macro lens. This one's really cool because it lets you get really close up to things and get like super awesome detail. Actually, here I'll lay over some footage of some closer shots of like the fish or something. So yeah, that guy does a really awesome job getting that stuff. This is my workhorse lens, 24-70 f2.8 with image stabilization. That I use pretty much 90% of the time. That's a little EFS lens, and then this is a 70-200 if I'm going to take some shots of stuff on the track. This trophy is pretty much it's like my favorite trophy because state of Florida in a first place, and it is the Roar 2018 Region 4 8-scale open e-buggy. I finished first, and that was something that Alfredo Morales put together, and it was a really cool prize for that race down there. So I just like that, fits nicely in that area. That's why it's there. Hats, you guys know that I like to wear my hats. Not much more to say about that, just yeah, there they are. Sometimes I rotate them out, sometimes I just leave what's there. I did a video not too long ago showing you guys all of the RC cars in my collection, so I won't go into too much detail about them, but that's a Tamiya little pan car, Tamiya FF02, no, that's a Tamiya TA02 four-wheel drive car with an Alfa Romeo, the Decra 155 I think is what it's called, I could be wrong. My little pride and joy, probably my favorite car my dad had. This is a Tamiya David Jun TA03 edition with a Martini Alfa Romeo body on there. Pretty nice, pretty cool. This radio is probably one that I am most sentimental about because longtime family friends, this was Phil Van Hart from Phil's Hobby Shop in Pinellas Park. That was his personal radio. He's no longer with us, so I feel really honored that they let me bring this home and keep it in my little collection of Futaba radios. It's a Futaba PCM, Futaba Magnum PCM 1024, I think is what it's called. That was one of the first radios that I used as a kid, so obviously near and dear to my heart, so keep it here on the shelf. This was something that my dad kind of just kept and made it nice and fresh. It's just an old Gold Tub RC10 buggy, and it just looks really nice. It's got some clean wheels on there. I don't think that they've ever been run, but pretty cool. Tamiya FF02, it's a front wheel drive car, the Jax Accord. Love that paint scheme. Some trophies that I've won over the last few years from Super Cup, Masters of Dirt, little Master Chief figurines. And then those two gold trophies on the outside are from when I won the Losi Champs back in the early 2000s. So pretty cool. so that's everything that's kind of like up on the shelf and on that side of the room. So now we can kind of look at maybe some of the less exciting things in the other parts of the room. If you're curious, I do take my audio very seriously, so I try to make this room sound as good as possible. So if you notice, I have some little foam panels all up on this wall and on that wall. Once I put those in, it really kept the echo down quite a bit and it made it sound just a little bit better. Let's see what we got going on over here. This is just my little workstation. When I do my live stream, that's my stream deck so that I can do my adjustments of media and volumes and whatnot on the fly. It's kind of cool. It's all RGB. You can change all the colors and whatnot. A little sound sample pad, change your voices, do all kinds of cool stuff. This is the microphone that I use. It's an Audio-Technica AT2020, I believe. Is that guy there? Really nice microphone. It's great for that kind of radio broadcaster sound, and then that just runs into here, and then it gets fed into my laptop. This is an MSI GS65, I believe. Could be wrong, but really nice computer. It eats up pretty much any footage I throw in there and gives me a pretty good real-time render speed. Do like to play some video games. Xbox Elite controller for whatever game I'm gonna play that would require that. Call of Duty or whatever. These lights are awesome. Little flapjack light. Just kind of turn that on, off. And what's cool is you can kind of change the color tone. So it can be really warm, be really cool, whatever. And then it's really thin. So it's like literally that's it. So if I don't have room for a softbox, that's a great substitution. Love that thing. And then just a second monitor if I have to run like OBS and have all that stuff over there. That's where that goes. Window. Yeah. And then, you know, tons and tons and tons of dollars of tires. Many thanks to Raw Speed, of course. They are my tire sponsor. So just got a lot of different Raw Speed tires in there. I kind of organize them based on like track location. So like down on the bottom, I know that that's some outdoor stuff. That's more outdoor stuff. That's indoor, and then that's indoor clay. So that's like indoor soft compounds and whatever else. And then some clay compound stuff. And then I believe I just tossed a bunch of pre-mounted stuff that I had in that because it was over here or something, so had to clean it up. And then on the other side, I'm not gonna rip it all out, but that's all my 8 scale tires over there. So yes, I do have an 8 scale car. We'll talk about that in a second. And then of course, I do have some other creatures in here. This, let's see if we can see them through here. That is Moose. He is a, well, ball python. He's not very big. He's kind of, I think he's almost a year and a half old, maybe 2 years old. So you, for those of you that know, he's whatever size you think that would be. But he's a good boy, really good. And in here, you can see him kind of poking out over there. And then this guy is my little hognose snake. They're kind of grumpy pants. When you go to pick them up, they'll usually throw a hissy fit, turn upside down, and cause a bunch of drama, but then they usually calm down once you hold them for a little bit. But he's pretty good. He's almost 2 years old as well. Okay, so TLR 8X turned into a Elite, basically, because I had most of the parts that make it an Elite, and then once it came out with the black towers, you just threw those on there, and then bam, it's an Elite. So this is gonna come out soon, not for any big like serious races, but it is gonna come out, I promise. Many thanks and shout out to, hang on one second, Brent Densford over at Beach RC. He's kind of like the, I don't know if he's the sole distributor of Ultimate Racing engines or what, but we got this fresh, hang on, broken in by the Drake service. I believe this is called the MX3, M3X, and that will be replacing my old OS 2102. That motor did great. It just is at that point where it's just had so many gallons of fuel through it that it's either time to do a bunch of replacements on it or just put a new motor in there. So Brent hooking it up, getting us with this fresh M3X from Ultimate Racing. Really looking forward to running that, and I believe it came with a pipe system as well. Fresh header and pipe to go along with it. Looking good. Always love it when you have a fresh piece of shiny aluminum right there in the car. But I don't know everything about these motors. I do know that it is an OS based motor, so you're gonna get that awesome reliability that you had with any of the OS motors that you've run in the past. And it looks pretty sweet. I like that red backplate on there. I like the finned high-speed needle. So really looking forward to putting that stuff in here, and then we'll probably do a whole video on this when we put this motor in here and get it prepped to run for the first time this season or whatever again, because we have some other pieces that I'm pretty excited about. Rear pill system, which I'm super stoked to try to get some extra adjustability out of the rear end of this car and just see how it responds. I'm really looking forward to trying that stuff out. It's got a pretty cool setup there. And then let's see, more to come for the 8 scale car is Kurt over at Shell hooking it up with a full set of bearings for this guy. So there's a lot of cool stuff coming up. I know that you guys kept asking about the nitro stuff. I have it, we're gonna run it. Just, all the nonsense that we've been going through kind of threw everyone for a loop, but we're gonna do it, I promise. It's coming. Let's see, what else? Anything exciting? Ooh, that box is the surprise at the end of the video that I want to talk about, but we're gonna look at that in just a second. Real quick, we got our travel system here. We got the Ogio layover bag. That's what I will fly with and kind of take the cars in, and batteries and stuff that you have to take on board the plane all goes in there. And then the checked bag, or just my everyday go to the track bag, is the Ogio 9800, and it's all full of my race stuff, whatever's appropriate for race day adventures. Okay, so I've been trying to come up with a really solid idea for like an ongoing series or like a build, because it's not really something I've done before. I pretty much just, have the standard cars that you run on race day, and then that's it. So this one that I have down here, I'm really excited. It's nothing new, but it's something that I've wanted to run for a long time just because I wanted to, and I think that we can do some fun stuff with it. So I really want to know what you guys think. I think it's going to be a fun build series, and I hope that some of you guys might even do it along with me, because I'm going to bring it with me to an upcoming race, Masters of Dirt. So, all right, let's pull it out and I'll show you what we're talking about. Oh, baby. Ta-da! So I know it's nothing new. It's obviously 22 SCT 3.0 from TLR, and it's been out for a while, and it's definitely not the most popular class by any means. But I want to race one, so I got one, and we're gonna do some fun stuff with it. I think that I'm gonna do a paint scheme that's gonna theme it like another big time professional race car that's out there, and I just want to do a lot of fun stuff with it. I know that some people are using these to convert them into drag cars, so I thought after we race it at Masters of Dirt that maybe we could do something with it and start a drag car build series, because that's pretty popular right now. So I'm actually really excited about this thing, because when I got back into RC a few years ago, I was super pumped to run the short course trucks, but they kind of lost their luster and the class size just kind of dissipated a little bit, and I kind of missed out on the prime time that was short course racing. So I am going to run this at Masters of Dirt. I don't know if Brent is going to do just a mod class and a 17.5, or if he's going to do a 13.5 class in there to kind of spice it up a little bit. That's what I hope he's gonna do. Brent, if you're watching, please do that. But gonna build it, have a lot of fun with it, give it a really cool paint job, and I wanna bring you guys along the way and start this build series with my short course truck. So that's gonna be it for this one. Just a little bit of a run through on some stuff that maybe you guys have never seen. In case you were curious, thought it might be kind of cool. Give you a little update on my fish tank and show you what we're going to be doing here in the near future. We're going to be running the nitro car and fixing that up and getting that back out to some club racing action and doing a fun build series on the short course truck and seeing where that goes. So if you guys have any questions or comments or curious about any of the stuff we were talking about, you know what to do. Leave a comment down below, give me a shout out, say what's up, and subscribe if you're not subscribed, because we're going to be doing some racing, some building, some painting, and all kinds of fun stuff. So thank you guys for everything, and I will catch you in the next one.